Hey buddies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. Today we're looking at War of Civilizations. This is how to set up, play and review for 3 to 6 players, 60 to 90 minutes, ages 14 plus. By Blue Encore. This happens to be a company based in India. I saw the UK Games Expo 2023, and I think they're also in 2023 at Essen Spiel. Now, in this particular game, it's a 4X games. There's the Explore, Expand, Exploit, and Exterminate. So, playing games like Twilight Imperium will be something you're familiar with. There are various of these like fog tokens, basically places to explore. So you're going to shuffle these up and you will gain or need to spend the resources on there to actually land on a certain location. The aim of the game is to have the most magic crystals at the end of the game, and if you set this up regardless of player count, you do need to be aware of it. There's some Kickstarter stuff in here too that I'll talk to you about, so if you want to play like this, and there's various ways in which you're going to set up your board. So everyone's going to take their starting location, your starting continent, and you're going to place this maybe down the bottom here. Like I said, I've deliberately zoomed out, so it might appear a bit grainy, but it's just to show you what we're doing in this game. So saying we're playing as a 3, we're going to have our board here, and we're placing 2 other boards kind of just about out of shot, and then we're going to set this up as such. Now, if you're not sure what 4X means, think about games like Command and Conquer, a very popular video game, and now you're going to slide this into play here as an example, and then you're, like I said, going to take these tokens, and then you're going to shuffle these up, and we're trying to reach the Island of Myth in the centre. When someone reaches the centre, which will need a capital ship, you'll have a capital ship. I'll show you how that works in a second, and you will have to land there first with that, and it'll trigger the end of the game beginning, which means it will ultimately have a total of 5 more turns once that round has ended. So you're going to place this out like this. Again, we've got these in shot, but I think they can come out of shot for the time being, and now you've got an idea of how that works. We can pop this away. And everyone's going to play one of the different characters. So again, it's 4 characters in the base game, but you can actually upgrade this to be one of 6. Everyone has a unique ability as well. Now, it doesn't come for some reason with some gold nuggets, so I'm using these. These are these magic crystals with actually how you're going to help to play with the game. So as my version didn't come in, this is a prototype copy. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I think that's 15 there. You basically want 15 in there, so a total of 30 will be in the game. And you're going to place 1 on each of these locations too. Again, terminologies I'll talk to you about in a second. Whilst I'm setting up, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell. And of course, head through to the comments YouTuber Best, where of course you can let me know any thoughts in case anyone else has any other thoughts about that too. So we're going to choose a colour. Now, I last played as lavender, so let's play with that again. So you're going to grab your stuff. And as I said, there are some upgraded components. There's some expansion stuff with pirates we can play with too. So let's just chuck all the stuff out and show you how it looks. So everyone's going to have a fleet. You're going to have some teleportation tokens. Now these are the wooden upgraded ones. Otherwise they look like this basically. We've got one example of a frigate. We have got a destroyer. And we have got a gunboat. And also this token representing myself, the tiger kind of faction. This is going to go on those rounds. So once we have reached the centre, we finish the round, and then whoever's the start player will go there. So that goes there, and you have 5 more turns to go. So you have a number of destroyers. You have 6. This is the damage that they can do and capacity on a space. So right now you can only have 1 on there, or you can have 2 of these frigates, because that's the capacity of when you resolve a space. And you've got these gunboats. Gunboats are useful for resources. So in this game, to gather resources, again as part of the exploit version of the game, is you are able to take that action and gather whatever you are on. So if you happen to have a gunboat on here and here, then you're gathering yourself 1 alwood. So in this particular game, alwood is a resource. It's something to allow you to buy stuff. And alwood ultimately is from the lore that in 2050, which is when this game is set, there's been a lot of flooding going on, there are a lot of archipelagos, everyone's fighting for the centre, and what you're looking to do is get that alwood. Now alwood is basically aluminium wood. So by 2050, these trees have now evolved to extract and use aluminium, and it's better for tensile strength, etc. So you can use an extra one of these counters, or you can just choose to play with something. So these go back in a bag because I'm showing you one of the advanced pieces. So you have got yourself 5 frigates, you've got yourself 6 destroyers, and you've got your capital ship. This goes down here, so now what I'm going to do is just move this out of shot slightly and show you how this is going to look. So imagine for some reason that my board was like this. Okay, so you can now see where I am. And we might be able to zoom in at this point, which might be possible. Let's see if we can do that, and just see if we can bring it in. At the minute I don't think we can zoom in anymore. There we go, brilliant. So now we've zoomed in a bit more, so let's go into full zoomage mode. There we go. So now we've zoomed in, and now you can see, apologies for the bounce going on, and what we're going to have now is our player sheet. So we're going to play with this character here. And for now, I think we actually will zoom out again just to show you how that looks, because you are going to play with your player board. So this particular character, Xanthi, happens to be the conqueror and leader of the Tiger Clan. Cunning and powerful, her tactics in offensive battles are unmatched because her ability is 2 more strength. Other abilities allow you to draw more cards or move better, but once I've got one of these crystals, these magic crystals, then I can get more strength. I can spend an action to mount. So that's what that does. So you're going to take this, everything starts on 5. So you have 5 ocean crystals and you have 5 owl wood. And of course you can get more throughout the game. So you've also got some ammo. Everyone's going to start off with 3 ammo. So you're going to look in this deck of cards and take yourself 3 ammo. And these go face down, so nobody knows how much ammo you have. Everyone starts off with 3. But as the game goes on, you might want to convert up to 2, and you have got 5 available too. So these are cards you can use for blind bidding. So you're chucking cards in. That allows you to choose to go into battle and combat. And what you're going to do, add up your total strength in your fleet. So if you're fighting with this, for example, it's strength of 1, plus you've got 2 down here for this instance. You're going to chuck in some of these cards, and there are some bonus cards. Now in this particular game there are always 4 bonus cards visible, and what's going to happen, these are power cards, is you can grab these, you can have at most 2 of them, and 4 are always visible. So what we're going to do now is show you 4. As you can see, there's a cost, 2 owlwood, 2 ocean crystals, 3 owlwood and 3 ammo. You've also got 2 more to show you in this case, and we've got ourselves move a ship to fleet, 2 steps in 1 action, and add +3 strength to your total fleet size. So again, if I happen to buy this, you just immediately replace it with a new card. These are one-time use cards as well. So what can you do? Well, first you set up your capital ship. You're then going to chuck out 3 gunboats in any 2 spaces next to you. So that goes out like this, and you're chucking out 1 frigate. So for some reason, I might want to do this. Again, making sure that you're below the limits. As you can see, you started with 6 power, and that's the most you can ever hold anyway. The reason why you want ships on different locations is no matter how many are on there, you only do the extraction ability once. So 2 will still only give me 1 owlwood, so maybe it doesn't really matter initially, but you're only going to get 1 owlwood. Here you're going to get 1 ocean crystal. And all these player boards are all identical as well. So imagine I start, I can take one of a number of different actions. There's about 7 to tell you about. You take 2 actions and you can do the same action twice, or you can choose to vary what you do. So initially let's talk about control. Anywhere you are, you control. No one can control more than 1 space. So if I'm here and somebody else is there, you go into a war of conflict. So we have a trail as well. So right now this shouldn't be on here, but right now you can see I'm currently got a control, which means I can move this ship all the way up to here as part of my redeployment. So that's an action as well. So let's talk about those actions. These are your non-dockable places. These are dockable islands. Other people can visit you here. And let's talk about what you can do. So the first thing you do is gather resources. So to gather resources, there's some bonus abilities as well, but don't worry about this. This is like a bonus, it's a special bonus, but basically you can gather resources. So my first action might be to get 1 owlwood and 1 ocean crystal. And if that happened to have, maybe I had this down here instead, then I'd get 1 more of these ammo cards. So I'd take 1 of them. I'd also get myself another ocean crystal and 2 more owlwood. And that's my first action. Now, if you happen to have something everywhere, then what you can do is take an extra action. So everyone gets an extra action if everything on their home continent is covered. So for my second action, let's buy something. I can buy as much as I want. Let's just buy 1 gunboat, and it has to go where I already am. Another gunboat, let's buy another one. And another gunboat, let's just do 3 initially. Again, imagine my first action was to do that instead of gathering resources, but as you see, I might not be able to afford stuff. And then my second action was to go like this. I might be able to move or something. And then of course my next one could well be to have a third and final action. So that's how that works. Now because I bought, it allows me to buy power cards. So maybe I want to reduce someone's ammo, so I spend 2 of these, and then this goes in my hand as an example. So those are some of the actions you can do. So we talked about collecting resources. We have talked about moving. So you can move and redistribute, as I mentioned. So it's either or, either you're redistributing, moving stuff around, or you are moving. So you can move anywhere which is basically adjacent. So if you're not here already, you can move there, and that costs you 1 action. Now you can redistribute, as I mentioned, you can move things around because that might be useful, obviously gathering resources. You can build a teleporter, so you can plonk this down. It can't go down here initially, and that can go somewhere else, which means you can then land there as well. So if you want to place it anywhere else, you need to pay the cost every time you move it as well. And yes, you've got to be careful of where you're going to move it to. So other things you can do, you can convert currency. So right here, you could choose to convert and gain this, converting something for something else in a 1-to-1 ratio. But to do that, you need these magic crystals. So initially you need to land here. So how do you land here? Well, let's say in a future action we've moved this capital ship up to here on an action. The next turn it moves here. I secretly look at this location and see if I can afford it. I can. So I pay 3 Alwood. So I can show everyone this. I spend 2 of these which have been hidden. So these go back. This goes back in the box, and I've now got this crystal for future use. Again, this is now worth a point for the end of the game. At the end of the game, whoever has the most wins. In a tie, whoever controls the most islands. So now this can be spent in a future turn. I can mount, so I can do this, which now means I've got strength 4 instead of 2. That's what the mounting symbol means. Or I can mount it here. What this allows you to do is once per round you could choose to mount, and ultimately that can be useful for other abilities as well. Okay, so also what you can do is we talked about upgrading in terms of mounting or dismounting, but yeah, that's the key things to do with mounting. So let's talk about rules of warfare. We've talked about this briefly. If I happen to go in here and somebody's already in here, what's going to happen is we're going to fight. We're going to compare our values, again adding up any strength, any ammo cards, and any of these bonus cards. If you lose, and you're going to do is take your amount of ships rounded down. So if I've got 2 ships, divided by 2 rounding down, this is basically lost, and this goes back to the start. But if I win, I get an ocean crystal, sorry, a magic crystal, which you can take from here or you can take from the supply. And what's going to happen is if you win and beat someone else's capital ship, you take 2, otherwise you take 1. Now, as soon as I or someone else goes in here, this will then trigger, end of the round, that this will start only 5 more rounds to go. Now, if you happen to move and stay here 1 whole round, the very first thing you do is you pay your fleet strength. So 10 to 19, because you need your capital ship in there, you're going to have to pay 3 ocean crystals before you get the reward, which is 3 of these magic crystals. Now, if you stay a complete round, you get 3, as I said. If you stay 3 complete rounds, sorry, a complete turn, you get 3 of them. If you can play 3 complete turns, or rounds, sorry, then you're going to win the game immediately. There's only 5 rounds, so everyone's going to fight over this. And you might want to just fight with other people to try and lose their ammo. Now, playing as a 4, this was difficult yesterday because the person winning was over here, and I had to try and get to the home base, because if you destroy the home base, they're eliminated, and they also have to give you all their magic crystals. And the person who won had 21 magic crystals. Now, the other thing is if you attack someone's home base, they do have a defense of 10, so just be aware of that. So, go in here, stay 1 whole round, you get 3 crystals, stay there 3 whole rounds, and you actually win the game. So everyone's going to be fighting over that space. Again, it does trigger the end, so there's only 5 rounds to go. And that's it. Again, there's no limit to the amount of these that you need, but we did run out when we played with it last time. Again, you'll start to increase your fleet size as well, which means you need to pay more ocean crystals, otherwise you will not be able to claim these crystals. You can stay there, but you won't claim these crystals. Now let's talk about these spaces again. It's got infinite, so any amount of ships can go here, so you can put 50 if you want to, but you've got to pay the upkeep cost. You might want to try and keep a supply line going, because it means you can redistribute, because if you are the defender, so if someone comes and attacks me, I, as the defender only, can bring in other ships to help me defend. The downside is, of course, I could end up then actually losing my supply chain, I could end up losing my ability to gather resources. And again, you cannot gather resources before you do the upkeep of maintaining your strength. So that's the end of the game. Like I said, you are looking to control this. You'll get 3 crystals. If you win against a capital ship, you're getting 2 crystals. These are all worth points. 1 point for any other ship. If you fight and destroy something else but a capital ship isn't present, then you win that battle and you'll gain yourself 1 crystal. If you explore, like I said, you get a crystal 2. And lastly, you can exterminate and gather whatever they've got. So that is the game. What do I think of it? I think it's great. It's probably my favourite 4X game. And I would give this kind of an 8.3 or so rating out of 10. My average rating being about a 6.4 at time of recording. I would highly recommend this. This is a lot more leaner and cleaner than TI4, a lot quicker. It's to the point, it's well balanced, I feel, in terms of what you do. But you need to be aware of if someone's in the lead, you just need to focus on just them. Because in the last game, the scores were 21, 8, 5, and I think 3. And you just need to make sure you're pouncing on them, because otherwise, it's 2 points to fight here, but fighting someone else, you can get yourself a point. So you might be trying to play for second place. Again, in playing as a 4, it feels as if, yeah, you may be too far away, so make sure you use your teleporters as well. Components, I like the artwork. These work obviously like this, but for some reason, these are printed like that, which is a bit of a shame. These are good. These all add up to 5 exactly, but they will vary. Again, we all have different abilities. Our starting one's all the same, which I don't think is a problem, because you do have variety going on here. Nice quality cards and thick cards, these are very nice. Lots of variety going on here too. I like the way the blind bidding works with the ammo cards as well. And of course the little player aid, which is always useful. So yeah, I highly recommend checking this one out. Very impressed with it. Looks gorgeous as well. Again, this is like the second printing, I think it is. And yeah, I look forward to trying the full release copy, because again, this has only got some of the bits in it, but very impressed and look forward to trying it some more. But yeah, definitely going on my setup plan review playlist, my AmassGames playlist, and a few others as well. So thanks very much for watching. This has been War of Civilizations, but for now, back to the table.